Marshall. Marshall. Marshall, come say hi to the folks at home. Come say hi. No? Marshall! Huh, I guess not. Well, he won't say hi to you guys, but I will. What's going on, guys? My name is Spice. Welcome to Spice Can't Fish. Today we got episode... shoot, I want to say 7 of the Soft Plastic Showdown. I don't know. We've made a lot of these so far. So I'm going through my tackle box looking for some stuff to show you guys, and I came across my big bag of like summer soft plastic stuff that I only throw really in the summer when it's like really hot out and fish are looking for a big presentation and a big profile. So stuff like big ribbon tails, like big really large worms, like I had like some 12-inch worms in there, and then I found a bunch of these things, which if you guys don't know what they are, they're like little brush hog style baits. So with all these summertime lures, I usually fish them in pretty much one of two ways. I'll either drag them on the bottom on like a Texas rig or a wobble head or something, or I'll, you know, take them and flip them into some reeds or flip them into some sort of cover or vertical structure. So I found 2 packs of those, and then a few other little odds and ends that are kind of in like that brush huggy creature bait package area-ish. So I figured, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna throw them all together and see if we can make a video out of them. So I'm gonna get y'all set up over on the corner of the desk, and we'll just kind of start going through them. Or actually, I got a better idea. Hang on. And would you look at that, folks? Movie magic, and suddenly you're on my chest. You can see what I see. See, it's my hands. Look at them, all nice and purty. Actually, they're kind of gross looking. But anyway, so we got this little light here, so y'all can kind of see the colors better, and I can show you guys what they look like right in front of me. So you can both get a better look at them. All right, let's get into it. Starting with number 1, the Baby Brush Hog by Zoom. So this color is the green pumpkin magic color. Here's what they look like out of the package. As you can see, they got these 2 paddle-like appendages here on the side, and then they have like these 2 little arms up front. This is the baby size, so this is the smaller 4.5 inch. They also come in like a 6.5 inch, I think, size, and which we'll get into a little bit later as well. So yeah, it's got the 2 arms, the 2 paddles, and then these little 2 curly tails in the back. They give a bunch of action. So this is kind of like the standard brush hog style lure, hence the, you know, it's the Zoom brush hog, and we know them as the brush hog, obviously. But yeah, so we're going to see what these look like underwater. Alright, second up we got the Carl's Amazing Baits Gator Hog. This is pretty much their iteration of the brush hog, or their brush hog style lure. As you can see, this is what they look like out of the package. They're very similar to the brush hog. Actually, hang on, let me go grab one now. So yeah, grab my little brush hog off the ground over there. And as you can see, they got kind of a similar body structure. They both have those paddles in the back. These big paddle tail things, although these ones are more oversized than this one, I think. They both have similar tails. And they have similar bodies up front. This one's a little bit wider on one side and then thin, whereas this one's just kind of thin evenly all the way around, which I think this one's going to have a little bit better of a, you know, hook placement ratio, I guess, or it's going to be easier to hook on a hook. One other difference between the brush hog and the gator hog is you can see the brush hog has these little arm appendages on the side. The gator hog doesn't have that. I don't really think that matters that much for the profile, but I think it will matter when you're trying to get this through cover. So I think this one's gonna go through cover a little bit easier than this one, but they should have pretty similar action, so we'll check them out. Alright, third up we got a little lizard type lure from Spike It. I couldn't find any actual information on this. I think I just got it in like a mystery tackle box. It doesn't have a name on it anywhere, it just says a 6-inch lizard. But yeah, these are the same guys that make like the dip and glow stuff. The one thing that's really interesting about these, well actually 2 things that are really interesting. They're pretty similar to your average lizard, except that where your average lizard would have like, you know, legs or something here, this one has that curly grub style tail pretty much implemented on all of the legs. So that's kind of cool. But the other thing that really sticks out, besides that, they have a really strong garlic scent on that as well. But look at that color. It's like a chartreuse, but it's a transparent chartreuse, so you can kind of see through it. But it's also got like this shimmery foil in it. I don't know what that's. I guess it's called the Diamond Flash Holographics. Maybe I should look at the packaging, idiot. But yeah, so those Diamond Flash Holographics, whatever they are. Yeah, so I really like the color of this one, but I also want to see what the action looks like. I want to see if these little appendages really kick like a curl-tail grub, or if it's just going to be kind of gimmicky and they don't really do anything like the legs of a regular lizard. But we'll see. Number 4 is something a little bit different that people don't really think about while they're flipping, but this is something that I actually kind of like to flip every once in a while, and that's a tube. These ones here are the Berkeley Havoc Smash Tubes. They're the Mike Iaconelli design, and as you can see, they got soft body. It's really soft, and they're very salty as well. This color we have here is black with red and chartreuse, and I don't really fish these a ton, but I know a lot of people have a lot of success just fishing them in open water, and I have some success while I'm flipping them as well, so I want to see what they kind of look like underwater, and maybe, I don't know, I guess understand why they work so good, or I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, tube number 4. And last but not least, we have the Smart Baits Bayou Bug. Man, take a look at these things. I got one out of the package here. They are wild looking. This is just like a pumpkin or green pumpkin, black fleck color or whatever, but look at that thing. It's like a hellgrammite crawfish. I don't really know, but it looks crazy. It's got these little tiny tentacle legs, which I feel like are probably going to come off really easy once you hook a fish or something, but got these little tentacle legs, and then they got like these 2 smaller ones and this one big beaver tail. I'm really interested to see how these things look underwater. I'm sure they have a ton of action because these tails probably kick like nobody's business, but I'm really curious to see what they look like. I think that these are going to be really good for flipping, but I also think they might be pretty good as like a jig trailer, so maybe we'll have to try that out, and I'll have to, I don't know, maybe we'll do a video on it or something. We'll see. But yeah, Smart Baits, last one. Alright, let's go to the test tank. First up, we have the Zoom Baby Brush Hog. As you can see, those 2 small arms on the side don't really move, but those 2 long kicking appendages at the back have a ton of action. So I really think that this would just be a really good option for if you're trying to have a little bit of presence in the water, but not too much bulk, but still a decent amount of action to elicit a response from those fish. Second up, we have the Carl's Amazing Baits Gator Hog. This lure had pretty much the same action as the baby brush hog, so we're not going to go into it that much. But again, like I said, I think this would be a little bit better suited for flipping a little bit heavier cover, just because it doesn't have those 2 appendages on the side, so it might slide through cover a little bit easier. Third, we have the Spike It Lures 6-inch Lizard. So this lure has a lot of action, both in the tail as well as the small appendages on the side. They don't kick as much as I thought they were going to, but they do have somewhat of a similar action to the curl tail, and I think that this really adds to the presence in the water. Fourth up, we have the Berkeley Havoc Smash Tube. So this doesn't have a ton of action on the fall, which was kind of expected from me for a tube. I didn't think that they were going to have a lot of action as they fell through the water, but when it hits the ground or hits the bottom, the lure actually has a ton of action in those small appendages and tentacles on the back. So I think that just sitting on the bottom is probably when this lure is going to be most effective, with just those little tentacles kind of twirling and waving around, making a little bit of motion. Last up was the Smart Baits Bayou Bug.
Just like I predicted, those small appendages on the side don't have a ton of action, but they do actually have a little bit of kicking and movement as they move through the water. But the majority of this lure's action actually comes out of those 3 tails on the back. As you can see, the 2 smaller ones don't move a whole lot, but the big main tail one moves an absolute ton as it flips through the water. I feel like this lure would look really great as a flipping bait, but it would also be a fantastic jig trailer.
Alright, so I got all of my thoughts kind of written down about the lures and just kind of like composed myself a little bit and thought about it. And I came up with, I guess, what I think I'm going to rate each of them. So, in case you guys haven't seen one of these videos before, the way that we rate the lures on this channel is we do 5 categories. Each category is worth 3 points for a maximum of 15 possible points. The categories are their color selection, the quantity that you get per pack of lures, the action of the lure in the water, the price of the lure, and then there's an other category, which is whether the lure has scent, whether the lure has salt, and whether it's made of quality plastic. So I just have them all written down here for all the lures, and we're just going to run through them real quick. So first up, we're going to start with the Zoom Baby Brush Hog. Again, this is the baby 4.5 inch size. They also have a 6.5 inch size, I think. So the color selection on these is definitely a 3 out of 3. They have 125 colors. Yeah, no, so I don't think I have to say anything more about that. 125 colors. Dang. Pack quantity, they also get a 3 out of 3 because you get 12 per pack, as opposed to a lot of these other ones where you get like 6 or 8 or something like that. So 12 per pack is pretty good. The action, it did pretty much what I expected it to do. It's pretty obvious to see why it's an industry standard. It didn't blow me away, but you know, it was obviously good action. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 3 for that. The price, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 3 as well, because at around $5 a pack, that's pretty much like the average for some sort of like crawl, creature, flipping style lure. And then for the other category, it didn't really come with scent, I don't think, but it did have salt. This is the, I think they're like the Super Salt Plus ones or something, but they definitely have salt in them, and I think they're definitely made out of quality plastic. So I'll give it a 2 out of 3 for the other category. So that means that the Baby Brush Hog by Zoom is going to come in at a 12 out of the possible 15. Alright y'all, second up is the Carl's Amazing Baits Gator Hog. This is their 6 inch size, I believe. Their larger size. They might have gone through a remodeling though of the Gator Hogs, because I'm not really sure, but I looked on the site and they look kind of different. They have the same tail structure, but the body segmented online, and it doesn't look like it's segmented here. So I think these are the Gator Hogs, but I don't know, maybe they're a different thing, but as far as I can tell, they're the Gator Hogs. So color selection for these, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 3 because they're only offered in 5 colors, which isn't a ton. For the quantity per pack, I'm going to give them a 2 out of 3 because you get 6 per pack, which is pretty average for some sort of like flipping bait. For the action of the lure, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 3. It's got pretty much the exact same action as the Brush Hog. So I think it would just be a good option to flip or drag. Whenever you would use a Brush Hog, I think that these would also be equally as applicable, I guess. For the price, I'm going to give them a 3 out of 3 because at $3.99 they're a little bit on the lower end of the price point. So we'll call it a 3 out of 3 because I guess they're a little bit better. And then for the other category, I'm going to give it a yes for scent because they definitely have a scent. It's kind of like a coffee scent. I don't know, coffee shad sort of scent? I don't know. So anyway, I'll give it a 1 for the scent. I'll give it a 1 for the salt because it definitely has some salt in it. And then I'll also give it a 1 for the quality of the plastic because it's definitely made of some soft quality plastic. So for the other category, it gets a 3 out of 3. So this is going to bring the total for the Gator Hog up to an 11 out of the possible 15 points. Third up is the Spike It Lizard. I couldn't find any information on it online, so we're just going to rate it for what we can. So the color, again, I couldn't find anything about any other colors or anything, so not going to rate it on that. The amount that you get per pack, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 3 because as far as I can tell, they only come in packs of 3, which is not really good for value at all. But, so yeah, 1 out of 3 for those. The action of the lure, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 3 because these legs down here, how they switched out all the regular legs for like a regular lizard for these curl tails, that actually added a ton of action to the lure. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 3 for that. And then price, I couldn't find an actual price for them, but I'm sure they weren't cheap, so we're just going to say not available, but you know, take a guess. And then for the other category, we're going to give it a yes for scent because it's definitely scented. It's very strongly garlic scented. And no for salt because I don't really think there's any salt in these. And then a yes for the quality plastic because they're definitely made out of quality plastic. So for the Spike-It Lizard, we're going to rate it a total of 6 out of the 9 that we rated them on. But I guess if you really wanted to screw the score, then you could say 6 out of 15. But we'll say 6 out of 9. So, alright, fourth up we got the Smash Tube by Berkeley Havoc. The action on this, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 3. I was expecting it to have kind of like a swirling action or like a twirling action on the way down, but I really didn't see that. Maybe that's just the way that we rigged it, or I don't know what it was, but that twirling action that people talk about on the fall for these I just didn't see. So I'm going to give it a 1 out of 3 because it didn't really seem like it had any action. The color selection, I'm also going to give it a 1 out of 3 because they only offer it in 5 colors. The quantity per pack, I'll give it a 2 out of 3. It comes in 6 per pack, which is pretty average for some sort of soft plastic. And then price, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 3 because this is the lowest priced option that we've looked at today at $2.99 per pack. Now for the other category, I'm going to give it a no for scent because it doesn't seem to have any scent. But I am going to give it a yes for salt because I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's been flaking salt off onto this piece of paper for the entire time that I've been holding it, so it's definitely very salty. And then quality plastic, I think it definitely is made out of some soft quality plastic, so I'll give it a 1 for that too. So that'll bring it to a 2 out of 3 for the other category and a total of 9 out of 15 points. Ooh. My finger looks like a New York pretzel. Alright, last up we got the Smart Baits Bayou Bug. Just take a look at that thing again. I'll give you a little bit better close up. Isn't that thing crazy looking? Ooh. Anyway, so for the action on these, I'm going to say 3 out of 3. These tails definitely surprised me. Like, I thought they were going to kick a lot, but they kick like crazy. So definitely a 3 out of 3 for the action on this one. The color selection, however, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 3 because as far as I can tell on their website, they only offer 2 color options, which is not a lot at all. So 1 out of 3 for sure. The price, also I'm going to give it a 1 out of 3 because they're $7.99 a pack. Like, that's really expensive. And I don't think that you would want to pay almost $8 for a pack of lures. For the quantity per pack that you get, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 3 because it comes in 8 per pack, which is more than the average that you get. And for the other category, I'm going to give it a yes for salt content, a yes for scent, because it comes with, it's like a, I don't know, I want to say like a coffee scent again. So yes for salt, a yes for scent, and then a yes for the quality plastic. So it'll be a 3 out of 3 for that as well. And so the Bayou Bug will have a total of 11 out of the possible 15 points. Alright guys, I really appreciate you all stopping in and watching the video. If you liked the video, please leave it a like and a comment down below, let me know. And if you have any other ideas for videos, let me know down below as well, that'd be pretty cool. If you want to stick around to see some more content, you can check out my channel, you know, through the link down below. And if you like the videos, then think about subscribing for some more content. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these soft plastic showdowns for the next few weeks, and then I'll be also trickling some other content in as I can. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Until the next one, I'll see ya. I'm out. Peace.